They remembered us by our defeats. We were the ones who lost Earth's atmosphere in the second terraform conflict. The ones whose fleets turned to drifting wrecks above Europa. The species whose last colony cried out from the dust of Proxima and was silenced. To the archives of the galactic empires, we were a footnote. A lesson in what not to do. Every great species had bested us in war. The Thrall crushed our armies. The Ver shattered our orbital defenses. The Kalar erased entire cities with plasma fire, and the Voltari carved their emblems into our moon. We never held the strongest ships. Our tech lagged generations behind. Our leaders often failed, and our unity fractured more than once. The galaxy saw us crumble again and again. But they missed something. Something we never wrote in treaties or broadcast in code. They missed what we did after the surrender. The Thrall burned our crops. So we brought seeds to their desert moons and grew food they'd never tasted. Quietly, patiently, the Ver outlawed emotion, seeing it as weakness. So we opened libraries of music and poetry. We translated their thoughts into song. They couldn't explain why they cried the first time they heard a human lullaby. But they came back for more. The Kalar enslaved us. Our bodies were broken in their forges. But we told stories in the dark, about home, about mothers and meadows and falling in love under summer stars. Those stories spread, even among guards. They didn't chain our voices. And the Voltari? When one of their young fell during a patrol, it was a human medic who crossed no man's land to tend the wounds. She was killed for it, but the child lived, and remembered. We lost every war, but we loved anyway. Where we fell, we helped someone else stand. Where we bled, we reached out. Where we died, we were remembered, not as enemies, but as something harder to define. The turning point wasn't a battle. It was a feast. The Ver High Cinther died, the coldest ruler of the most merciless logic caste. His heir, young and untested, invited leaders from the known species to prove her legitimacy. We weren't invited. Of course not. We had no territory left. No empire. Just scattered settlements and refugee ships. But we came anyway. Not with weapons, with bread. Old Earth tradition. Round loaves, soft and warm, baked by third-generation exiles from Mars's underground havens. We came with laughter and wine. With arms that welcomed instead of threatened. With children who danced, barefoot and unafraid. The room silenced as the humans entered. Dressed simply. No banners. Just music. And one by one, the other guests found their guards lowering. The Kalar warlord sat beside a human gardener and ended up asking how to grow tomatoes. A Voltari general, scarred from decades of war, wept when a child offered her a hand-drawn picture, stick figures smiling under twin suns. Something shifted. Not all at once, but undeniably. We didn't win the galaxy with lasers. We won it with lullabies. On Vero's Prime, there's now a human memory park, not a memorial to battles, but to moments. A statue of the woman who died saving the Voltari child stands beneath a tree that only grows from Earth's soil. Visitors leave gifts, not coins or flowers, but poems. In Thrall airspace, human engineers now lead cooperative construction. Our designs are imprecise, yes, but filled with color. Thrall children grow up with human mentors, learning both engineering and storytelling. Among the Kalar, a holiday was established, the Day of Warm Hands. No official record calls it human-inspired, but every year, Kalar kitchens bake bread in human shapes, and elders whisper bedtime tales about people who never gave up even when they had nothing left. We're still not the strongest. We don't need to be, because now, when wars threaten, the empires ask first, what would the humans do? We are consulted not for power, but for wisdom. For empathy. In a galaxy where every species sought to dominate, we chose to connect. To build. To forgive. We are the only species known to have lost every galactic war, and yet hold ambassadorial ties with every victor. Because we never saw war as the final word. We saw people. We remembered that a soldier, once unarmed, becomes a parent. That an enemy, once fed, becomes a friend. And so, even as our banners were torn down, we stitched our values into the stars. Now in the great hall of the Union Worlds, there is a bench. Not a throne. Not a monument. Just a bench, shaped from earth oak, worn smooth by generations of sitters. And above it, a single phrase engraved in every language known. We lost every war, but won every heart.